Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in to try to figure out some more about your dog. So one thing I want to talk about today that I believe comes down to something, and the reason why not everybody, but a lot of y'all are struggling with your dog. And that's the concept of stop letting everybody, everything, touch and interact and meet and mingle with your dog. Because it's something that I've just noticed that a lot of dogs are just, they don't really care for that. They like you. They really like you a lot. I mean, this even comes down to, this is an unfortunate thing right here. Even inside your own household with your spouse and your kids and your family members and everybody. Your dog may not want to be around everybody, but it may tolerate it and be cool with them all, but may not just like want to have that secure bond with everybody. And one thing that I just know that it continues to keep on going on this planet, at least here in the United States of America, that I believe is normal. You know, you take a dog out in public and it's like everyone's right to be able to touch and interact and mingle and play and do whatever they want with your dog. And I'm going to say that that is something that is just destroying us. Because not even just touching them, but just staring at them. Because I've been doing tests with this with many of the dogs, and today just really let me see, like, right in my face again, the same things. Even if I don't have no intent on, like, actually even touching the dog, but I'm thinking about it from a distance. I'm 10 feet away from this dog, and I'm staring at this dog like, the dog starts to get a little nervous of, like, what's going to happen next? And that's where we as the human for that dog have to just like, hey, get off my dog. Please get off my dog. My dog isn't liking this right now. This may sound weird, but it's just something to help out some people with your dogs. Because you're running into that situation that you have a dog that just doesn't care about a lot of people, and especially doesn't care about other dogs. It just wants to be with you. It just wants to hang out with you. And it's something that if we don't show the dog that we're able to like say, give that dog what it's looking for, keeping that dog safe, keeping that dog in a way that it feels like it's able to just relax in this world, it's going to just keep getting worse and worse and think it needs to defend for itself. There's one thing that we just do, you know, family comes over and everybody's just smothering the dog, especially, man, that's why I think that we're having more problems at a faster rate today with a lot of these dogs than ever before, because our dogs are like primarily in homes. And in home is like, it's a big crate in reality. Outside, there's availability. At least, like, still, worst case scenario, the dog could jump the fence, tunnel under the fence. In his brain, it's gonna have, I can get out of here. I can get out of here and I can escape if I need to. But inside of the home, the dog is like, it's caged in. And it's not sure where it can get away from, because in reality, the dog knows it can't get away from anywhere inside of the house. It's stuck. It's stuck. So when family comes over and they're like, oh, look at the dog, and all on the dog, just stop that for a little bit and see if your dog starts to get a little bit better. Someone comes up to it and just say, hey, you know what? Leave Susie alone. Just leave her alone. Please get off my dog. And wait. There's one thing that I do know, that especially inside of homes, most dogs, not all dogs, but most dogs, they eventually will come up to you. They'll eventually come and investigate. They'll eventually like see like what's going on here. They'll eventually get there, and let them do it on their timeline. Let them just figure that out when they want to figure that out. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to slap the leash on it and force the dog to stand there and be there. Just allow the dog to be able to naturally on its own decide, is this someone I want to go and interact with or not? And just see if certain little things like this you can start doing with your dog, that things start to get better. Take your dog. A lot of y'all struggling right now because you don't, I want to say do a little extra is what I want to say to do right now. The extra part meaning go somewhere, and it means if you have to go a little bit further away to find somewhere where you could just consistently walk your dog and have a nice peaceful enjoying time. It's not never, but it's not going to be this just like, you're not going to see anybody. But if you're struggling walking your dog in your neighborhood right now and you've been doing that for a year, like I would almost just say scratch that for a while. Just stop putting your dog and your own self through that stress, because you're already walking out like, I know what's about to happen. That's where I would say just do a little bit more right now, just for a little while to see if something changes, and go further away. I mean, even just go to your neighboring neighborhood and just see if you can walk those streets and see if the dog is any better. Because most cases, that actually does happen. I don't know what it is. Like the dogs really begin to build a negative association with where it is that they live. Because they're just danger. The danger radar is constantly just going off and it's going off and it's going crazy. And the dog's just going, it's just absolutely maddening. There's just a few things that I would want some people to just change up a little bit. Is it gonna cost you a little bit more time? Yeah. But if it can cost you a little bit more time right now to be able to get yourself into a better place in the future, it's something that we as humans are, this is where we're intelligent, where dogs just aren't. That we can do that so that we can be able to get things moving forward, as opposed to just being the same old mess and the same old mess and the same old mess. And something that I just know is hard. I don't know what it is. It's hard for a lot of people. For me, I don't know why. It's easy for me to say, get the heck off my dog. It's easy for me to do that. And or if I can see that it's happening my dog, and I've already kind of explained to the dog that we're moving and getting out of here. Like, I just don't let someone just come up and just pet all on my dog. Oh, your dog is so sweet. I know my dog is sweet. I know my dog is cool. I know my dog is nice, because when you have a calm dog in public, man, everybody wants to touch that dog. I don't care the age of the person. I just don't care. Everybody. Every dog wants to meet a calm dog. Every single dog wants to get all on top of your stuff when your dog is pretty chill. It's not jumping all wild, it's going all crazy. Even the ones that are jumping wild, people still want to touch them, because it's just, I don't know what it is. But it's fairly simple for me to say, hey, buddy, get Ophi. It's very simple for me to be able to get people to just, don't do that to my stuff. Get off of my stuff. Get away from my things. And it's something that I want a lot of people to just really start to get into your brain of, stop allowing just, come here, girl. Where are we going right now? Ophi. She's sitting here, half running away from me for a second. That's fine. We working on this. we gonna figure this out. You're gonna have to be stuck on a leash with me for a half a second again. We gonna work on that. I like the knowing that my stuff is just not all that perfect, and it just is what it is. working on this dog. But it's easy for me to just, stop touching my dog. Get off my dog. Get away from my stuff. Get away from my things. Get away from what's going on right now, so that the dog can just get in a sense of like peace and realizing that everything is going to be forced upon it. And this is just some dogs. Some dogs are cool with anybody and everybody touching them. And you might have that same problem in reality. The dog is going extra wild because the dog is trying to get to that person even faster. So you're trying to figure out how to be able to get the dog to get better. And even in that scenario, stop letting anybody touch your dog, because that's what's going to help your dog be able to get into a better place. Because that's what I was going on with this Dalmatian for a long while, that she would, she was like trying to get to every single person. She's like pulling me to get everywhere, every single person. She's pulling me to get to every single dog. And I'm saying to her, like, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to make that happen. So I had to just pull it back, wait, make her be calm. And then when she's calm, now I can say, hey, you can come meet my dog. But in most cases, I didn't have enough time for that, because this dog, she would stay wild, Ophi. She would stay wild for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. So there's no reason. Like I said a couple videos ago, I'll be moving, and she's still minutes we're passing those dogs and people, and she's still like going absolutely crazy. So it was just day after day of just not allowing her to, in reality, meet anybody, and not putting the expectation that she is going to even be able to. And so both sides of this is something that I don't know what it is, but it kind of just works out in the end. It works out that the dog just realizes that it's not going to be forced into a situation that it doesn't want to be into. And still at the same time, I don't believe that an excited dog is like properly thinking things through. It's the only way I can say it is just kind of like what it just came to my mind. It's like an emotional way of being. They're like in their feelings. They're going into it without knowing, like, even if it's a good or it's a bad thing. They're just going into it, and they're not really like processing the whole thing that's happening here. And it's something that it's the dog's really not making the best decision in that time. When they're just all happy, all super sporadic and frantic and just wild and going all crazy looking, they're not really making the best decision in that moment. And that's something that we have to guide them to get them out. Because when they're calm, then they're going to say, okay, well, what do I want to do right here, right now? And it's a very fascinating thing what she just did. She's just like, she's pretty chill. But when she gets into sniffing, she gets into, I don't really need to listen to dude. I don't really care what the heck's going on with him. So she got in there like, I don't know what I should do right now. So I'm going to say to her what I'm looking for, and I'm just going to keep on reinforcing that, I guess I can say, on this is what I want. This is what I want. So she got confused. She's just taking off, and she's like, what do you want? And I'm like, well, come to me. And she's like, oh, okay, I can do that. That's pretty simple. And it's something that we're going to continue to keep on working on over and over and over. And when I have her in a calm stance, we're able to like figure things out. We're able to actually like communicate. I could just say, hey, this is what I want. And it doesn't turn into anything like wild and crazy and hostile or anything. It's just something that is just super, Ophi. One of y'all moving. See, here, she's like, I'm not going to you. This is the thing that I'm going to say I really, really appreciate with this dog in specific is the fact of it's taking time. It's taking time. Oh, come on, girl. It's taking time for me to get, I guess I can say what I want. So we're 3 months into this, and her recall is still like iffy. I got like a years or more to go. And it's something that I just want to realize for my own self that could I fast track this? In a way, I could put an e-collar on this dog and I could teach her that when she feels that buzz to come back to me. And you ain't got no choice but to come to me. But I don't want that in my dogs. I want my dogs to be able to just realize what's going on. So I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again so she can realize what's going on here. And this is where we are able to have very clear communication when she's in a calm way. Because if she's out here running and sporadic, well, for one, I wouldn't let her be as free as she is right now if she's sporadic, because she's for sure not gonna listen to me. Because I've done tested this. Morning time, when we go out for potty time, it's almost like I let her go potty up front, and then she's pretty relaxed, and then we can go do what we do. But before then, yeah, I'm not talking to this dog. There's nothing going on. And in reality, for me, I'm making her wait at the doors and do these things, but it's almost like too much for her, because she's like, I gotta go, man, I gotta do this. And I'm just like, wait, just chill it out. But we're not having any communication when the dogs are not in that calm stance. And that's what's kind of going on with a lot of dogs in a lot of your houses. A dog can appear to be calm. It could be sitting there. But if it's sitting there shivering and like, what's going on, what's happening? That's not a calm dog. That's a very, very scared, very nervous, very just wild good dog. It's just not expressing it the same way. It's expressing it in a more freeze way than a fight and flight type way. So it's still in the same thing. And if anything, it's probably worse if it's just sitting there and it's not moving. And you got your family, you got anybody, you got random people just coming all, touching all on that dog. That's gonna make that dog just have, the only way I can say it is trust issues. It's not gonna know who to believe in. It's not gonna know who to be able to listen to, because it's just feeling like it's in a world all on its own. It's something that I just keep seeing the same stuff over and over, that I see more dogs that don't want to be touched by anyone, that do want to be touched by everybody. I see way more in reality. It's like an 8 to 2. Like, I see 8 dogs that are like, leave me alone, leave me alone. Don't mess with me. Don't get away from me, get off of me, and just let me live and let me do what I got to do. And then I see those 2 dogs that are just trying to be on everybody. I mean, everybody. They're just like, everybody touch me. But again, the everyone touch me has to be in a way that the dog is calm, making that decision, not in a frantic, almost like last ditch scenario of, I don't know what's going on. And it's something that is challenging, because you're like, oh, I'm a husband and wife in my house right now. I want to be able to touch a dog, and I want her to be able to touch a dog. I'm not saying don't ever. You're never going to be able to touch that dog. But just allow the dog to see that it's safe. Because a lot of times, I don't know why, but not everybody cares for dogs the same way. And not everybody cares for dogs the way that I care about my dogs. And I don't care about my dogs, I don't think, nowhere near what a lot of other people care about their dogs. Dogs are dogs to me. I don't put anything extra on them. They just dogs. When a dog passes away, dog passes away. And I just move on with my life. I unfortunately just lost a dog the other day. Dog passed away. I don't know. I'm weird, I guess, with that I see them as animals, and I'm not putting anything extra. So I care about dogs a certain way. And other people care about dogs a whole lot more in a different certain way. And it's something that I want a lot of people to realize, that you and whoever is living in your household probably doesn't care about that dog the same way that you do. You really, really, really care about that dog a lot. You're just like, I really like this dog. It's cool, it's cool, it's cool. But don't think that the other people in the house feel that exact same way about that dog. And that energy that they're putting off with, I deal with the dog because my wife likes the dog. That could be really hostile to that dog. That dog can feel like it's got to fight. It's got to do something. In most cases, it just freezes because it doesn't want to retaliate. It doesn't want it. Man, dogs are so patient, man. They are like a definition of what patience truly is. And a lot of y'all probably don't see that right now, because we're pushing the dogs so far that they finally just had a breaking point. But if we do what we do to these dogs, the way that we disrespect them, the way that we do another human being, someone would have been slapped you all around in your face and up, down, and around to tell you that what you're doing is inappropriate. But if we don't know, we don't know. And that's something that I want a lot of people to just really, really think a lot about, is us putting our dog in a situation where the dog doesn't want to be touched and messed with and manhandled and all that, is disrespect to that dog. It's at the end of the day, extreme disrespect. That's why I would want you, if it's your dog inside of your home, get your dog to be calm with you, and stop allowing anybody to just walk up. The main thing is, don't let them walk up and touch the dog. Allow the dog to go over to and meet with them. You're out in the store and your dog is there. Allow your dog to go and meet other people. Don't allow people to come up to you and meet your dog. And see how your dog starts to respond. See what starts to go on with the dog. See if the dog, because this is something especially inside of households. I'm not so much as outside and anywhere else. But in your household, you got your cousins, you got your friends, you got your coworkers, you got people coming over to your house. Tell them to get off your dog. Your dog goes up to them. Go ahead and interact with the dog. But still, something that I would add into that is, if your dog even walks up to a person, don't allow that person to interact with the dog yet. Not yet. Allow the dog to investigate. It's good. and then leave. And then the dog leaves, and if the dog comes back again and investigates, it's more likely going to stay longer this time. So then go ahead and say, oh, now you can pet that dog. But don't do it on the first run. Wait, tell them, wait, don't touch my dog. Just don't touch my dog, please. Just stay off my dog for a little while. Just leave it alone. So they can start to just understand that people are listening to it. Because that's where most all disobedience is coming from dogs, because they don't think that we're listening to them. They're talking to us all day long. They're telling us something all day long. This girl is trying to communicate something to me right now. She's saying, hey man, Oriole's over there. He got a big old thing of bones. He's in there chewing, having a good time. She's like, I want to go over there too. And I'm saying to her right now, not right now. Not right now. And I'm not gonna like put any extra force upon her to say that no, but just simply saying, this is what I'm looking for. Every time she tries to leave off and go too far with that, I'm just telling her to come back, and I'm saying, not right now. But I need to understand what it is that she's looking for. So since I know what she's looking for, when we're done right now, I can say, okay, let's go over there and go find you a piece and get you to chew on something. But best case scenario, I already got some at the front in the patio, so we can go ahead and grab that before we head into the house. So I know what you're looking for. And then she'll get that bone, and then she's gonna look at me and say, hey dude, you knew what I was looking for. You know what's going on. And that's for me to just, I'm not some all magical guru to understand dogs. No, I just understand when I see what a dog is staring at, and then I see the dog go to it. I'm like, okay, that's what you want. I see the dog staring at this and it goes to it. I'm like, okay, that's what you want. I see the dog spinning in circles and doing weird stuff in the house. I'm like, oh, you must have to go potty. Let's go and do that. I just watch the little things that they do. And I just like see what they're doing and see what they're about to do. And I'm like, okay, that's what you wanted. And there's not like an unlimited amount of things out here. Dogs are so simple. They're so easy to like figure all out because they have very limited things that they want. Very limited things. And the affection part is the one that we all should pay very, very close attention to. Does the dog actually, oh man, there's a big old hawk right there. He about to come for my baby chicks. There's a big thing to dogs that are asking for or don't want the affection. Because when a dog doesn't want the affection, it could get dangerous at the end of the day. Because if the dog feels like it needs to defend for itself, that's where a lot of dogs today are in that so-called reactivity, because they're trying to say to that person that thing to get out of here, as opposed to even, I want to get closer to you. There are those few dogs that are so excited that they're just like, they want to party, they want to play, they want to do it, so they're just going wild. But still, if they're wild and crazy like that, they're not in the right mindset to make the right choice. That's why for me, still thankfully, nothing serious has ever happened to my dogs. When a dog that is just wild comes running and gets up to my dog. Because my dog is pretty much so calm that he's looking at him in a way of like, dude, slow it down a little bit. So it's gonna take a lot for him to climb up. But if my dog is excited, and that dog is excited, that's like the quickest little dog fight, dog tiff, dog situation that's about to happen. That's the fastest situation that's about to get into that too. Because both of the dogs are not thinking things clearly. They're both in a situation that they're trying to like get all this energy out, and they meet, and then it just turns hostile. It turns hostile. But when a dog is calm and two calm dogs are meeting each other, it's like, oh, we're just having a good experience. Everything is as good right now. And one is frantic and the other one is calm. We still have a pretty semi-decent situation going on here. And that's what we want all interactions to be with the dog. That you may be excited to go to your friend's house right now and see your friend's dog. You're like, I haven't seen this dog in a while. You're excited. So we can have you being excited as that one part, and then a dog being calm. And then you meet and everything's gonna be pretty cool. Because unfortunately, most dogs are in that situation that they're biting kids, unfortunately, because we got two high energy things coming together that are like, oh my goodness, and then they meet, and then the kid does one weird thing, and the dog just acts like a dog and then treats your kid like a dog. It just chews on it a little bit. It's just like, oh, okay, there it goes. And it happens so fast. It happens so fast. It's because we're allowing two extremely like high energy things meeting with each other. Two things that are like so happy, so excited to meet. And we're gonna have conflict. As opposed to the dog being in a calm stance. When the dog is calm, we're gonna allow the dog to be able to dance through this world very, very easily without having any situation where we're worried what's gonna happen next. Because the dog is just, it's gonna take so much for that dog to like climb up that ladder of excitableness. And that's where the dog is gonna make a wise, correct decision when it's calm. But when it's frantic, it's gonna mess up. It's gonna mess up. And most houses that I go to, your dogs don't wanna meet anybody. And if they do, it's because you stay there for long enough. But the first 5 or 10 minutes, it don't wanna meet you. It don't really want nothing to do with you. Because in most cases, they're meeting you and they're jumping all on you, like, they're doing all that madness, or they're like way back in a corner, hiding on the other side of the room. And in both of those cases, which is all cases, I rarely have ever gone to anybody's home and the dog is just like, hey, what's up? How you doing? I don't know what it is. I used to see this way more when I was a kid. That was like normal to me. But today, I rarely go in a house that the dog isn't just like jumping I mean, I don't know what it is, but the dog's just jumping all on folks. They're just jumping all on people. They're just wild, crazy jumping. And that's not, at the end of the day, a healthy thing. It's just like my dog here. She jump on me a little bit, but I'm not giving that energy back, and I'm keeping her to stay nice and calm. And she's gonna eventually it's gonna disappear. It's gonna disappear because she realizes she's not gonna get what she's looking for by doing that. And I don't need to do anything extra to make it disappear. Just doing nothing at all is gonna make it literally just disappear because I'm not feeding any energy into it. And that's something that what we're doing is what's making the dogs get worse and worse. We're forcing the dog into a situation that it may not want to be in. And even if it thinks that it does in the moment, it's actually not doing it in a healthy way. Ophi, it's not doing it in, come here. I'll come get you. No, you can come on. And the dog's not doing it in a healthy way because the dog is in a situation that it's frantic and it's too excited and it's too excitable. And the dog isn't going to make a smart decision. It's going to mess up. It's going to mess up. And that's something that I want more people to just really think a lot about with what's going on with your dog, even down to inside of your home. Inside of your home, your kids playing with the dog. I don't know how many dogs I've had to go and help people out with that the dog is starting to turn on the kids. And then when I hear the backstory of the situation with the dog and the kids, it's like, the only word I can use with that is straight up evil. Because the kids are like, the dog is sleeping, hanging out, and the kids are like jumping all on it and poking it and doing stuff like that to it. And the dog is just walking around, they're like jump scaring the dog, and the dog is like, what's going on? At some point, the dog's gonna just say, no, I'm fed up with this madness, man. You are not gonna be doing that to me. You are not gonna be like this with me. So the dog has to like defend for itself. And then it starts to growl, it starts to show teeth, it starts to do what looks crazy. And it's stuff that keeps happening because for one, if the dog just doesn't feel safe, Ophi, if the dog doesn't feel safe inside of its home, you're running into a very, very, very sticky situation. Because if the dog isn't safe in its home, then the dog is for sure not going to feel safe with you going anywhere else. It's going to be in a very, very, like, just hostile feeling way that the dog is in a sense that it's not able to go anywhere to find any sort of peace. It's not going to go anywhere to find any sort of just relaxation. That everywhere it goes, it's in a case that it's just always frantic. It's always nervous, and it's never being heard. It's always just in a situation that it's just like, I don't know, and I can't, and I don't have anything of safety. That's one thing that at the end of the day, I really like me a crate for a lot of these dogs. Because I can put the dog in the crate and some kids mess the crate up, man. They all in it and they playing with their stuff in there. And I'm like, get the heck out of the crate. That's the only place the dog has that it's its own. Like that's why I like it, because people rarely mess with a dog when it's in the crate. Because most people, you walk in the house, the dog is in the crate, you're kind of like, ooh, why is the dog in there? So now you're a little scared. You came from excitement to knowing they got dog to like, woo, what is that? So then that makes things get calm. So the dog calms and everything is good to go. But when you're coming in with this high energy of, I want to meet this dog, and the dog really doesn't want to, you're putting that dog in a sense that it's got options, and the options are not anything of a healthy way. It's gonna fight, it's gonna flight, or it's gonna freeze. And we don't want any of that. We want just calm and neutral. We want chill. And the only way the dog is gonna get that is if we just get the heck off the dog, man. Get off the dog. Stay away from the dog for a little bit. Get people to get the heck away from your dog. And if your dog is just really barking, especially if it's barking at people, I'm telling you right now, you do something in you that you ain't never done before in your life, and just speak up and just say, hey, get away from my dog. Just do it, man. Do it. And you're gonna see that your dog is gonna get better, because your dog is gonna see that from you. It's gonna say, wow, mama just got powerful today. Like, I don't need to worry about that. She handled that for me. Because most cases, it gets worse when the dog is especially barking at humans, because we allow people to just come and we just don't have that's what we're saying, the authority to just tell them off and tell them no, I don't want you to. You're used to just everyone just take it from you anyways and just beating you around and doing whatever they want. You just got to stand up and say, this, I got to do something right now. And I just recommend it, just get up and just make that happen. Just do something. Do anything to tell people to get the heck away from your dog. Because those are the dogs that at the end of the day are kind of more in a sticky situation than the dogs that are trying to go after other dogs. And your dog is going after another dog, that's where you got to bring it back. You got to get that dog to find a place of safety. It needs to be safe. It needs to feel safe. And it starts in the home. If the dog doesn't feel safe at home, your dog, you complicating everything that you got going on. I'm not gonna say nothing, but most nothing is not gonna get any better if the dog doesn't have a feeling of safety inside of where it's living. And that's the foundation of having a nice dog. When the dog is able to hang out, the dog is able to be listened to and heard and seen, the dog is just gonna be able to shine and grow like crazy on this planet. When a dog is always fighting, when the dog is fighting with other dogs all the time, when the dog is fighting with cats all the time, when the dog is just always in a mix of everything all the time, and the dog doesn't feel like it has a place that is just calming and comforting for itself, you're struggling because your dog is not, it's not going to trust you because it doesn't think that you're able to keep it safe in its own home. And it's something that we really need to understand, that a lot of this stuff starts at home before it goes outside. If my dog doesn't trust me at home, it is going to magnify by 1,000 when we go somewhere else. But if my dog is able to calm down and relax inside of my home, if I'm able to get the other dogs from, because this man here, Johnny Man, is because she's now free in the house. I use that crate like 3 months, and she's chill. She understands what I'm looking for, so she just lays on the couch. She just does what she does, and that got in his feelings a little bit. He's like, "Oh, this is my spot." So he started to pester her and get all on her, and I had to, hey man, get away. You get away right now. And that's calmed everything down again. And now Ophi is looking at me like, wow, you okay, well, I could work with you. And then once I was working with that, then she got in her feelings of, now I'm gonna tell him what to do. I'm gonna push him around. And I'm like, well, we're not doing that either. That's not happening. So I had to work on it going back and forth both ways. And then once I was able to bring that peace to everyone, to let everyone know, I got this. Don't worry. You don't need to bicker and fight. If you don't like each other, I don't give a crap. You can lay over there, you can lay over there. We're all good to go. We can all sit and hang out on the couch together. You got your spot, you got your spot. We're not gonna even mix the two right now, and I'm gonna sit right here. And we could just stay that. I don't care if they're like the best of friends and the buddies of buddies. And at the end of the day, I kind of prefer that they weren't, so that I can make sure that everyone is getting what they need. And we're not just doing everything together. It makes it easy for me at the end of the day, because then I can do different stuff with each of the dogs to give them what it is they're looking for. And then they feel valued, they feel wanted. Because my Johnny Man, he doesn't like meeting pretty much anybody. He'll run up to somebody, but if he's running up to him all excited, I'm like, Johnny, get back. And he's like, okay, I'll go hang out on the porch. So I get to interact with them much differently, and that they're not just all in the mix of everything all at the same time. And it's something that we're constantly continuing to keep on working on with these dogs to make sure that they feel safe and they feel wanted is, I guess, the main thing that I really want someone to really think about. Because most dogs, they're not comfortable in their own homes. And that's what makes everything everywhere else just, you see it there, where you don't really see it at home because you just we just ignore a lot at home, man. We live in it so much that like something could be out of place and you're just, you don't really notice it. But outside, you notice every little thing. And it didn't just start there. It's not going on there. It's starting on the inside of the home, on the inside. Because that's where I do all of my tests and my challenges. Know where my dog is at home, inside. If I say to my dog, that's why now I give her a lot more leniency, because inside the home, I can say this dog's name, this Dalmatian's name, and she'll come to me. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm looking for. Like stage 1, complete, where she'll come to me, no leash on, just in the house, and she'll come to me. We got a good foundation in the house now. And this is the thing, no treats, no praise, no nothing, just my body just saying, hey, Ophi, come here. And she's like, okay. And so she'll come. And now stage 2 is here, out here. Not many distractions. There's chickens out and there's stuff out, but nothing wild out here still yet. And I'll take her to more stickier places, but just have her out and just let her do what she do. And I call her and she comes to me. If she comes to me here and there's a lot of stuff that I need to keep on working on. Just like right now, I got a lot to still keep working on. I call her and pretty much like 0 out of 10 times she comes to me effectively on her own, just her free will of saying, I'll be there. So I'm like, okay, I'll explain to you what exactly that I want. I'll come and get you, and we're gonna do this right now. So she's like, oh, okay, we'll do that. We got into that chasing game for a second. She's like, well, we can play chasing. We're not doing that. We're for sure not doing that. That is not about to happen. So she's understanding when I call her just to come to me. And you come to me and everything is gonna be okay. And I'm gonna be able to give you what it is that you're looking for in the end. But right now, I'm looking for something. And it's small stages that we see. Now, if I couldn't even get her to come back to me inside the house, I would have said her name, she'd have been gone, man. Because that's what she would do day 1 when I got her out here. She was gone, especially with my baby chick sitting right over there. She is gone. She's like, I'm going over there, and I don't care what you got to say. Like, she didn't care a single lick of word that I had to say. So that's where she didn't trust me in the home. She didn't trust me where I was. She didn't trust anything about me. She's just like, she got to do for herself. We're getting there, small stages and small stages. And like I said, could I fast track it, make it look good really fast right now? Heck yeah, I can get this dog, like I hate to say this guarantee, but I guarantee you I can get this dog to give me a recall any scenario, anywhere in like 2 days, probably even less than that. I got the equipment, I've got e-collars, I got all the stuff, I know how to use it. I've been walking her long enough so that she understands what I want with this leash. I can get this dog to give me a foolproof recall, any distraction, any situation in a couple of days. But that's, at the end of the day, not real. That's just a false sense of something that is just, I'm using something to convince her to stay with me. And that's the part where stuff fails and we forget to charge stuff and we just don't always have it all the time. And I don't want that type of relationship. I want the relationship where she just understands what I want based on what we've been doing. And that takes time. That takes time. But I'm telling you, once you get that, you get something really, really, really nice in the end. Because that's how my shepherd looks, man. I don't care where I take the dude. I can just tell him to come on. He's like, oh, okay, well, let's do this now. With nothing hostile going on. Nothing weird going on. Just simply a dog that just looks at me and just says, oh, okay, that's what you want. And that takes time. And it's, I'm gonna say, the most valuable thing of time that you really want to be able to put in with working with an animal. Because there's something that is just neat about it. There's something that is just really, really cool about it when you have what you're looking for in the end, finally. Knowing that it's gonna take some time. And it's something to keep working on. But one thing that I want to say and say again, I'm sorry if you're like, man, dude, you repeat yourself. I have to repeat myself because we get in our thoughts. As soon as we get in our thoughts, we're not listening to a section, then we get back and I'm gonna say it again so that you can hear it for the first time. I don't know how long I've been on this for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, so 30 minutes, I'll be talking. 30 minutes later, I'm gonna say the same thing again. Stop allowing anybody, if it's your dog, the dog, you feeding it, your dog's with you primarily like 90% of the time. Don't let anybody else touch the dog unless the dog goes up to that person to go and interact with that person. Don't allow people to come up to your dog. This comes down to your kids, to your spouse, to your cousins and aunts and uncles, to everything in your family, to all your friends, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your all the stuff. Stop letting people just walk up to and touch your dog for a little while, and just allow your dog to go up to them. Because there's one thing that I do know, when your dog starts to get comfortable, confident, and good to go, it's just gonna go up to people faster. But allow the dog to make the decision. Allow the dog to say for itself, okay, this person seems to be cool, nothing weird going on, I'll go up to them now. And if your dog is super excitable, it's trying to just rampage and get on everybody. This is the part where you need to have something set up that you can get your dog to stay away from that for a little while. And that's for me, I just use a leash. I'm quick with grabbing a leash and putting a leash on a dog. And I don't care what you use, and just put the leash on dog and just hang out. When the dog is calm, then I can go ahead and release that dog to go ahead and meet that person. And this, you can fast track your success with this. If you got friends and family and anybody that come over very often, that you could have them wait it out. Because this could take 2 hours the first time sometimes for that dog to finally just calm and go and meet. I doubt it's gonna take that long, but it could. And you wanna wait that out to the dog that gets calm. Once the dog is calm, then we can go ahead and move forward to allowing the dog to meet and be around people. Because when the dog is calm, it's not gonna be so quick to just go absolutely crazy. And that's like how I've been getting this dog to get much, much better with food out and about and going everywhere. And because we're being calm now when we eat our food every night. We're calm, we have to slow it down. When she's calm, she's like, okay, I get it. So she's no longer frantic and I don't know what it is. It was kind of, I'm like, this is the part where I think a lot of us mess up because I was about to mess up with something that I wasn't sure about in reality when I first got her because I thought it was the cutest thing. We'd be walking and she's just sniffing in the air and I was like, this is so funny looking, like it's neat. But it's really not all that great in the end because she's stressed looking for food. She's just like anxious, just going, just going and going. And I want to let her know, like, it's just what she does. But she would do it like way up. It was just the funniest thing. And I could have like made it worse by just like laughing at it and keep telling her to do it. It's like, hey, I keep doing that. That's so cute. And then I'm just driving her to insanity. In most cases, that's what a lot of us are messing up with our dogs. So we see something that looks cute, but then we start to like push it to make it go further. And then we're like, oh no, like, no, now we're really messed up. But everything is calm. And we can't move on until we are in that stance because everything is so chill when it's that way. She's not, if she's all excited, it's hard to keep her to stay anywhere near. It's hard for her to listen to anything that I'm saying because she would just be gone, man. She'd be gone. But since she's calm, she's going to just casually move all around and just hang around and do what she's doing. And this dog is acting weird right now because he's all in his feelings about her being in the house. So he's like, I'm going to stay close to you because she's taking up some of my time is how he's looking at it. Even though he's not an affectionate dog. He doesn't like to really be held. But since she is, and she's like real close to me, he's like, well, I kind of want to do that now. And I'm like, Johnny, no, we're not in no mess like that right now. And it's something that is just, it's fascinating. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating to be around dogs when they're calm and they're hanging out. And this dog in specific is a very high moving, high energy dog. But yet all of my high moving, high energy dogs are calm because it's in my opinion, it's way easier to get a high energy dog to be calm than it is a calm dog to be calm. And that might not make sense, but I'm telling you, it's much easier because the dogs are able to do so much more when they're in that like high energy stance, where it's really hard to get a calm dog to like get up to do anything. It's so hard for me to get this dog to get up and make it. It's just like, Johnny, let's do it, man. Let's go. He's like, okay. And he's just hanging out. But my other dogs, they're just like, they're snappy, they're quick to make it happen, and they're relaxed. And also at the same time, I do take this dog for walks every single day. We're doing what she wants to do. I do take her for long, extended trips every single day. I do work this border collie every single day. What you got on you? You just chewing up stuff. I do take this border collie every single day. We do stuff out here every single day. Every day. Well, she didn't go for a walk today because I just can't push them. When it gets hot out, we can't do all the same stuff. But I do work with them every single day. And that keeps them and maintains them to just be relaxed, calm, and chill. And that's what the dogs are, in my opinion, begging for from us. Calm me down, man, because I just got all this extra craziness going on. Can you get me to the point of just relaxing me? Relax. Get me to be able to chill. And once we are able to get them in that sense, it's like that's what's addicting to the dogs that I want the dogs to be addicted to. I want the dog to be addicted to that calmness. And that's what I personally continuously keep on seeing with them. Once they get to that calm, they're like, man, I like this. I want to stay in this. How do I stay in this? And the dogs just do everything that they can to stay in that, as opposed to worrying about being all wild and frantic and crazy, because that's not fun at the end of the day. Something I want a lot of people to just really, really think about with your dog and look at some things and adjust some minor little things with what you do on a day-to-day. Stop letting anybody just touch them, man. I'm telling you, even your own family inside of your home. Allow your dog to walk up to them and then go ahead and say, okay, now you can touch them. But after, I would wait 2 times. Dog checks in, walks away. Dog checks in, it hangs around, go ahead and pet that dog. And I'm telling you, that's where a lot of people are struggling because our dogs don't trust us in our own home. They don't have a place of safety. And safety starts at home. If you don't feel safe at home, I mean, there's so much science you can research, you can read on this about baby children for one. If the kid doesn't feel safe at home, that is going to be a destructive member to society in the future. That's just what's about to happen. Ophi, man, what y'all shooting over there? That's going to be a very destructive member of society because they don't have anywhere that they feel as if they're running into a case that they have any sort of peace. And if you don't have any sort of peace anywhere, you're running into a case that you're going to be struggling and struggling and struggling because you're going to see it way worse on the outside as opposed to being in the home. And everything, just my opinion, everything starts in the home. And we got to work on the things in the home first before we can even worry about things being great somewhere else. Thank you. It's just my dogs when I'm just hanging out. This is how we hang out. This is just what we do. We don't do anything wild. We don't do anything crazy. For the most part, I don't even let them like run and play with each other too much. We have little times, but we're just relaxing. We're just doing what we're doing. And I what do you call it? Reward the calmness. I reward that all the time. And I want my dogs to always know that that's what it is that I'm looking for.